What's going to make price searchers different from price takers? Well, when a price searcher increases the output of the good they're making, the price they're going to receive is going to decline. That has ramifications. Let's take a look at this. So right now we have a price searcher, and we have their output from 0 to 5. As you can see, as they increase their output, the price decreases. Now for 1, they get $8 a unit. For 2, they get $6 a unit. For 3, they get $4 a unit. When a price searcher sells the goods, it's not the case that when they sell the second unit, they receive $6 and they still receive $8 for the first unit. Price searchers operate typically in this setting under the law of one price. Because they don't have the ability to prevent resale, they don't have the information to engage in price discrimination, if they're going to sell their goods, their best strategy is going to be to sell everything at the same price. So that means they produce 2 boxes of chalk, and they want to sell all of them. They sell both boxes of chalks for $6. That is going to affect their total revenue. Total revenue is always price times quantity when you have the law of one price. So, when you look at the total revenue for selling 1 box of chalk, 1 times 8 is going to give us $8. And when we sell 2 boxes of chalk, 2 times 6 will give us $12. That's $12 in total revenue. Notice that was not 8 plus 6 because of the law of one price. Both buyers got to buy the chalk for $6 each. Increase the production to 3. We're going to sell all the boxes of chalk our company makes. 3 times 4, $12. Produce 4 boxes of chalk. 4 times 2, $8. And you can produce 5 boxes of chalk. If you're going to get everyone to buy that chalk, well, you sell it at 0. This is going to affect marginal revenue in a way that wasn't true for a price taker. A price taker always got to charge the same price. They weren't big enough to affect the price of the good of their output. So for a price taker, price was marginal revenue. The price is $5 for making 1 more stapler. I got $5 more. Where I made my 10th stapler, or I made my 20th stapler. Each additional stapler got me $5. But for the price searcher, because our output is affecting price, when we look at marginal revenue, which is our change in total revenue, as we change our output, it's not going to match price anymore. Except, there's one exception, for the very first unit we made. And that's because our total revenue, we make 0 units. Well, it's going to be 0. So, when we look at the change, we take the total revenue we had beforehand, and we compare it with our new total revenue, and we see what is the difference. There is no negative unit of output, so we can't calculate the marginal revenue at an output of 0. But an output of 1, we went from having total revenue of 0 to having total revenue of 8. At an output of 2, the difference between 8 and 12 is $4 additional. When we go from an output of 2 to 3, we don't gain any additional total revenue. So our marginal revenue is going to be 0. And when we go from 3 to 4, our total revenue is actually going to decline. The drop in price was large enough that we actually see a negative marginal revenue of 4. And if we go from 4 to 5 units of chalk, we see an additional drop in marginal revenue of 8. So we went from $8 of total revenue to nothing, 0 total revenue, if we're going to get consumers to consume all 5 boxes of chalk that we produce. We're going to really notice this difference when we start graphing the demand for our company's boxes of chalk and the marginal revenue we receive as we change our output. So, using these numbers here, we know that in output of 1, we are going to receive a price of $8, and output of 5, we're going to receive a price of 0. Linear line, we're going to draw this linear line. Okay, so here in white, this is the demand, the price for a box of chalk. Now we're going to graph the marginal revenue, which we're doing in orange. At an output of 1, it's still going to start at $8. But by an output of 3, using our numbers from the table, our marginal revenue is going to be 0. Again, it's going to make a linear line, by the way it's been constructed. And we can see right now that the marginal revenue curve, except for an output of 1, will always be less than the price as for a price searcher, assuming the law of one price holds. And that's where this difference comes from. Good news is, once you have these curves though, you start doing your standard approaches to calculating econ profit, econ losses, output of the firm. Output is still always found where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. And we can tell if a firm's making a profit or loss when we look at the price of that output and the average total cost. And based on whether the price is above the average total cost or below the average total cost at that output, we will know if the firm's making an economic profit or an economic loss.